Apologies for my voice being distorted in this video. I do have a fix for this coming up in a future video.
Alright, the immediate plan is to go to the open area / play area and make my own little rut in one of the little sandy patches and practice going through the ruts. See what happens. I practiced ruts last weekend a little bit, and I want to do it a little bit more on my own time here. And I think a sandy rut is good because if I screw up, I can just exit the rut. It's not like a hard wall where you end up necessarily crashing and so on if you get it wrong, which is what I liked about it last time. Anyways, I have a new camera angle, which we'll see. I guess if you're watching this, it all worked out. I have a very Frankenstein situation right now with respect to recording and what I have to do in editing to put this together again, but you've got a chest cam now, so the intention, if I get this right in editing, is that you'll have a reasonable view forward, but it'll be lower so you can see what's going on with the handlebars and stuff like that in the bike, as opposed to me just floating in the air, so to speak. The downside is that the camera is not on my helmet, so you will have no indication of where I'm turning my head. So I'm curious what opinions are. Feel free to comment if you prefer this or you prefer the previous arrangements where it's been either a chin mount or mounted on top of the helmet.
I'll also add that I will be experimenting with the mounting being a little bit higher but still on my chest. It's a long story, I won't bore you with the details. I realize it's a little too low for sure right here, so I will be trying to get that a little bit higher going forward.
I'm also wearing knee braces for the first time instead of knee guards. I'm wearing the Mobius, what is it, EXC-F or K8 or whatever. So far I actually managed to completely forget about them once I was on the bike, which I guess is good news, given that there's a lot of talk about people not liking the comfort, but I managed to completely forget that I didn't have my usual knee guards on. I should clarify that they do feel a bit different, but the main point is that different is one thing, but it's not really feeling bad. It's not really feeling like an issue, which is good. And they are quite snug. I'm not wearing them super loose or anything. Trying to actively remember my elbow position, since you may have seen in a previous video. Been getting feedback again from like dirt bike people, not ADV people, and I am indeed dropping my elbow a ton, which was always an issue for me. So I need to remember until it becomes second nature. Alright, let's see if we can make our own rut here in the little sandy pit or whatever by repeating stuff sufficiently. And as you're going to see on the third person footage, my armored vest probably doesn't fit me, or it doesn't fit me fully. So sorry about that, but I'd rather have the protection. As I lose more weight, it'll start fitting me more. Let's see if we can create this rut. There we go. Sorry about the poor technique. I was dabbing my leg and stuff there. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Do not take this as an indicator of correct technique. That's also not what you're supposed to do. Okay. That is also not what you're supposed to do. Okay, need to bend that rut a little bit more. Try to make it sort of not quite a half circle, but somewhat close to that at least. As you can tell, I'm really skittish. There we go. Okay. Again, not using the correct technique. Leg-wise, for sure. Okay. The rut is starting to form. Okay. Okay, leg in the proper position. Not really. Alright. No, I keep going out of the rut. I just don't commit. Okay. Probably counterbalancing too much still. Although I don't know. This rut is not as deep as the one in the last practice. So I'm trying to sit forward on the bike. I actually forgot about my elbows again, but I'm sitting forward on my bike. I'm supposed to have my foot properly sticking out at the front, definitely not downstairs, so to speak. When I was doing this before on the other rut in the previous video, the coach was suggesting that I counterbalance less, but that rut was deeper as well, so I'm not entirely sure what's best here. Okay, now I need to remember the elbows this time. Okay. Still not doing it. And my foot up. I'm like thinking about one thing at a time, like thinking about elbows, forgetting the feet. I forgot to say vision as well, like looking ahead, not in front of me in the rut, which just takes sort of like, it's hard for me because I'm not confident yet, so bad with the foot. I think that was okay with elbows and vision, but not the foot. Okay, let's do this. I'm still not turning enough. Okay, elbows forward, vision. Not turning enough, and feet are wrong.
And this is where I lost third-person footage due to an arbitrary 10-minute recording limitation on my phone, which I was using for the third-party footage.
Okay, elbows, vision, not the feet. Jesus! Especially when I'm sticking my feet out. Like, I've done ruts. Let me actually do it standing once.
I realized the camera angle is really poor for sitting. I'm just going to bring you along on some of my commentaries to bring you along the experience, but not too much more.
I'm not as confident then. But yeah, with the feet, when you have the feet, or when I have my feet sticking out like that, the urge to dab is just huge. Okay, elbows. Whoops. Yeah. I'm gonna try to go really slow and just focus on elbows, vision, and foot. The feet doesn't work. Okay. Slightly better with the feet, or with the foot, leg rather. Crap. Leg. It's like I need to compromise on something. If I'm getting the leg somewhat right, I don't turn enough. If there's always something. I can't make everything work at the same time. Elbows, vision, leg, correct line. Better line, but leg is bad. And I'm definitely counterbalancing too much. I'm pretty sure. Comment down below if you think I'm wrong. That went completely wrong. Elbows, vision, leg, elbows, vision, leg, elbows, vision, leg. That wasn't great. Elbows, vision, legs. Okay, let me try in the other direction once or twice. It's gonna be even worse. Yeah. I don't know whether to switch back and forth or whether to sort of get it right in one direction and then work on the other. Okay, that wasn't horrible. That was actually not completely horrible. I'm sure my elbows weren't perfect, my leg wasn't perfect, but that wasn't horrible. Okay, that wasn't horrible either, actually. I'd love to get at least one run through that feels like I got most of it correct. Okay, that was okay. That was okay. Not too bad. That wasn't great. That could have led to a stretched muscle pretty easily, I think. I'm gonna try the other direction a couple of times again. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. All right. I think that's enough ruts just for the moment. Otherwise I'm gonna get impatient.
Yeah, at that point it started getting a little bit old, and I need to keep focusing on technique. Obviously I was going for a lot more than you saw in this video. I was probably going for like 30 minutes or something like that, so I started feeling like I wasn't having the patience to really focus on the technique, and it's probably not a good idea to keep practicing at that point, so might as well stop.